Welcome to 5 Minute Tips, the podcast which gives concrete business advice in 5 minutes. In this first season, we'll focus on tips and best practices for SMEs. In this episode, we'll talk about how to export with confidence, tips and best practices. Are you currently exporting your products or services, or thinking about doing so, and want to better manage your risks? Exports are an exciting part of business. They show there's a demand for your products or services overseas and can drive your expansion. We understand, however, that businesses are not always confident about exporting and would like to know how to manage the associated risks. Working with new countries means dealing with new cultures, rules and regulations to follow, but they also offer the opportunity to access new markets and customers. That's why we'd like to go over 3 main tips and best practices to help you protect your exports while focusing on expansion. Our main tips today cover 1. Do your country and customer research. 2. Make sure your paperwork is accurate. And 3. Maximize your chances to secure payment. First, make sure you do your research. That means identifying the main risks linked to export in that country. This could include risks of non-payment, foreign exchange risk, or political risk. Find out the specifics for the country of export, as many have very specific export-import requirements. Being prepared for these make a big difference when trying to recover payment. You can refer to Euler Hermes's country reports and collection profiles to help you in this research. Doing your research also means finding reliable information to check your customers. Get up-to-date information to balance the need for increasing sales but getting paid. Keep in mind that legal obligations and access to information are not the same everywhere. Secondly, make sure your paperwork is accurate. If you haven't done so already, get your terms and conditions checked by a lawyer who has export and import experience. Include a clause that mentions if payment is delayed past the due date, the buyer is liable for the third-party collection costs incurred, late payment interest, and legal charges. Ensure that your terms and conditions are in hard copy at some stage. These can be printed off by the buyer and signed and dated. It's much better to do this before the order is placed, just like ticking terms and conditions when placing an order online. Finally, maximize your chances to secure payment. Make sure you understand the local legal procedures and linguistic aspects to anticipate non-payment. Know how to conduct an out-of-court negotiation. You can use Euler Hermes's debt collection services with our global network of offices and contacts. If you trade mainly with Europe and the US, you're more likely to be successful following the above guidelines. But these tips and best practices help regardless of where you trade. Overall, making sure you do your country and customer research, that your paperwork is accurate, and that you maximize your chances to secure payment. All this will increase your chances of getting back your hard-earned money in cases of late or non-payment, and will require relatively little effort to follow these points. More than that, following this advice can help you make strategic credit decisions and offer competitive terms overseas so you can expand confidently into overseas markets. Thank you for listening to 5 Minute Tips. We hope it was helpful for you. Don't hesitate to find more information online at eulerhermes.com and listen to our other podcasts.